Road mapping obviously is a planning exercise where we're going to be taking stakeholder information from all different parts of the organization, combine it with the strategy, and use it to plan the work over the next few months, quarters, or even years. Ardoq supports multiple solutions that assess and provide valuable insights into the aspects of the health and function of the organization, from app and infrastructure contract and lifecycle management to compliance assessments and obviously technical debt assessments. Let's start by looking at the sources of information that will feed into our roadmaps. Then after that, we can start the construction and presentation of that roadmap itself, making it available to different stakeholders in different forms. Finally, we'll look into the different parts of the organization, how they contribute to its implementation over time, and we'll see how the EA team, business stakeholders, and executives can track that progress from a bird's eye view while using Ardoq. To get a good understanding of where we're going, we have to understand where we are. Just taking a look at this dashboard, we can see the ongoing initiatives within the company, highlight their strategic investment, and classify them into run, grow, or transform. By using these metrics, executives can gain a better understanding of where the majority of their funds are being allocated, the timelines, and most importantly, the status. We can also see the information underlying this dashboard, our strategies and objectives, and the metadata we're tracking that's important about them. We could also look at this from a risk postures perspective, looking at our total application portfolio, seeing where our most critical apps have vulnerabilities. We could also look at it from a specific regulation. In this case, we're looking at the NIST CSF framework and our adherence to that framework. We can also garner insights from architecture assessments that help optimize and modernize our business. Here we can see the total technical debt across our organization and its impact on our business via the relationships from applications to business capabilities. We can also look at how our business processes are impacting our business, and we can highlight which organizational processes are not meeting the KPIs we have for automation, duration, and maturity. Data we're likely pulling from something like Celonis and process mining information. We can take these insights and use them as different lenses on our capability model. This can also give us a really deep understanding on how well the business is operating. To ensure the correct insight and context, we can see our business capabilities, value streams, the experts, and this is where the power of Ardoq and our graph really comes to shine as we connect different concepts and domains across the architecture layers. From value streams through capabilities, down to the applications, data, and infrastructure, as well as the technology products that are supporting all of them. All of this needs to have the relevant metadata necessary so that we can understand where changes need to be made. These insights help us identify different areas of improvement across the organization. In use case 1, we're evaluating the trends and assessments in order to bubble up areas of improvement across the entire business and create new objectives and business capabilities and technology changes. These capability changes come from all over the organization, but are prioritized based on the needs of the business and the company's objectives. Here we can see which capability changes are going to drive significant impact to the organization by highlighting their anticipated impact versus the priority of the aligned objectives. Once we understand what needs to be changed across our organization and the priority of those changes, we need to build a plan. Now, stakeholders are going to be looking for an understanding on what changes are happening, when they can be expected, and why those changes have been prioritized. So here we have our 12-month strategy on a page, connecting our new objectives, formatted by their priority, and their expected timelines. With our strategy, objectives, and changes aligned, let's take a look at our enterprise roadmap and highlight some of the initiatives, the systems, the infrastructure, and the resources that are going to be impacted. The reduced customer waiting time is an objective that is aligned to our unmatched customer experience strategy. Here we also have a customer service chatbot implementation, which is an initiative to implement 24/7 support services and improve our customer service capabilities. Now, various stakeholders are going to want to understand the breadth and depth of these changes. We can expand on this roadmap to highlight the resources that are assigned, the systems, the infrastructure, and how those are going to be impacted so that we can avoid delays, mitigate conflicts, and reprioritize as quickly and easily as possible. And the timeline view here is a nice way to illustrate when the business can expect these changes to occur in different time horizons, whether those are immediate, 6 months, or even 12 months and beyond. We can even start to project the anticipated improvements coming to these capabilities with these changes planned. We can see that the maturity of our customer relationship management capability is low, but with the implementation of this initiative, we can see an increase in maturity of this capability as well as several others. Now, all of these insights and more are going to need to be shared with our stakeholders via Ardoq Discover. So let's hop over there and take a look at that. Now that the roadmap is taking form, let's take a look at how the other personas across the organization are going to leverage Ardoq to not only align, but manage and help execute on the enterprise roadmap. The execution is going to kick off by generating new initiatives and assigning ownership and sponsorship through broadcasts. Once assigned, the project lead is going to take over the implementation. The project lead is going to be very, very interested in understanding the dependencies that are impacting this initiative so that they can maintain that they have good control over the time and the budget. With automated workflows, we can ensure that this information is being kept up to date and distributed across the organization. Capturing data like resource assignment, systems being impacted, priority, sponsorship, and even cost. And once this data is submitted, I as a project lead can now look at my initiative, see how it connects into the knowledge graph, and understand the rest of the enterprise architecture. This gives me a better idea of the dependencies that the initiative has from resources to data, systems, and infrastructure. We also need to ensure that the initiative is compliant, following our IT policies and standards. From the standpoint of an EA, they can log into Discover and quickly see the applications that are currently undergoing a solution health check assessment. The Ardoq solution health checks and architecture records, which are both new to this year, ensure compliance with the architecture principles and technology standards, helping aid the organization in keeping technical debt and risk low. As stakeholders, contributors, and ongoing integrations are keeping all this various data up to date, one of the powers of Ardoq is the fact that all of the other visualizations are also in line. For example, the PMO, who's responsible for the total project portfolio and its delivery, they're going to want to be able to mitigate any issues that may lead to unnecessary risks, delivery delays, or project timelines in a very timely manner. Here's a timeline view showing an overview of all the initiatives, their budget and spend, as well as their status and progress. These are all linked to the impacted systems and the aligned objectives to help highlight the initiatives that may be delayed or running over budget so that they can put the project leads in contact and ensure better delivery. Another common issue within execution is the limited resource availability. Being able to highlight the assigned resources and their timelines is critical. We can surface where there might be potential resource conflicts because people are working on too many things at once, allowing the PMO to better adjust resource allocation and deliver on the timelines that they promised. Now, from a standpoint of a business stakeholder, I'm going to be interested more in the capability changes I'm responsible for and the timelines associated with them and their expected delivery. Finally, all this data is going to be rolled up into executive level dashboards to highlight progress towards our roadmap and the alignment to our company objectives in regards to timelines, budgets, ensuring that we have an efficient and effective execution of our enterprise roadmap. It's crucial to remember that Ardoq is going to be empowering organizations to be able to drive insights across their entire business, which is absolutely necessary in prioritization and planning. By leveraging a robust meta model as well as our knowledge graph, we're able to actually connect every layer of the architecture and offer stakeholders customized perspectives of their data at the appropriate level. Our advanced automation and visualizations allow for various user personas to get involved and interact with Ardoq to the appropriate level that they understand, accessing key information and making necessary updates to drive the successful execution of the enterprise roadmap.